Welcome back. It is time for our monthly business segment with recruiter guy Bill Humbert. He's actually a talent attraction consultant. He is here locally, has been for many, many years, but he helps people all over the country, all over the world find jobs, and he also helps businesses find the right candidates. Bill, thanks for being here today.
Thank you, Christine. I'm really excited to be here.
Looking forward to this discussion talking about job descriptions, how as a candidate you should not trust them. And on the other side of the coin, if you are writing these, you need to take a little bit more time to make sure you're attracting the right people. And you are finding within your work, within recruitment and people that you work with, that this isn't happening.
You know, Christine, it's not. And there's two things that you have to be aware of. One is most times what the candidates read on Indeed or even on the company job site is a job posting. So it's an advertisement to try to get them to apply online. So it's not really the entire job description. The problem with that, though, is that it's not always accurate. And candidates have learned that they need to mirror their resumes to the job description. So that means that their resume doesn't accurately reflect both their experience and then also what the job truly is.
But isn't that what you're told to do when you're applying for a job? Aren't you told to do just what you said, to mirror your resume to the job description so that certain keywords will stand out and your resume will stand apart from all the others they get? And then also as managers, how are we getting in this situation?
So you're right about the candidates. They're supposed to, they've been told, they've been coached, and I coached them to mirror the job description. The problem is if they get to see the job description before they get selected, and that may or may not happen. And the problem from the manager perspective is they feel they don't have enough time to sit down and think about what should be in that job description. So they make a pretty general job description. And then here's what happens. They create a pool that's really big of the wrong fit candidates. And out of that pool of the wrong fit candidates, they pick a smaller pool of the wrong fit candidates to interview. And then they look at that and they go, oh, I guess this is the best I'm going to get. And so they pick one of those smaller pool of the wrong fit candidates and they hired them. Now there is good news out of this. 2 months to 2 years later, they fire the right wrong fit candidate. And then they go back to their job description and use this very same job description. What possibly could go wrong?
So it results in much wasted time, even so much time and effort wasted that you hire the wrong individual. So Bill, as I mentioned, you not only work with people to find jobs, you also work with business managers who are hiring. So how do you coach those individuals to write the correct job description to avoid these mistakes?
You know, Christine, it's really important to think ahead. What are the 3-month, 6-month, 9-month, and 12-month goals for the position for the next year? Once you created that, you have a roadmap for the entire year. But more importantly, as a recruiter, I look at that and I know exactly what skills and experience are needed to be successful that first year. So my candidates are going to be more on targeted for them. So what I've seen though is when I ask, I tell them, hey, this is what I suggest you do. I had a manager from one of the big fours out here on my front porch last fall, and I laid this out for her, and she said, it'll take me an hour and a half to do that. And I went, you're going to spend 2,080 hours with that person next year. You think it might be worthwhile to spend 90 minutes?
And there's also some other distinct advantages to creating these goals when you do this.
There are, because it then gives you the entire year. You know, first of all, who it is you're looking for. Secondly, when you onboard them, you talk to them about that, and you include questions in the interviews too that will help direct you to finding if they're the right person. And then the manager in their one-on-ones over the next year have that roadmap to discuss. At the end of the year, the candidate or the new employee either made their goals or they didn't make their goals, and the manager knows why and why not. So the annual review, instead of being a dark going, I think they met their expectations, now you know exactly if they met them or they exceeded them.
And how do individuals who are looking for a job feel about finding specific goals within the job descriptions?
They love it. Sometimes what happens is they deselect. They go, yeah, I've already done that. I really don't want to do that again. And that's great because now they're not one of those piles of resumes that you have to go through. The other thing is they don't see this very often, and many times they don't even know how they're being measured during the year. And so they are excited to see that roadmap because they know exactly what they have to do to exceed expectations.
And if you're in the job search right now, as many people are, or if you're looking for that perfect candidate to fill a position within your company, within your business, this discussion might feel a bit frustrating because you can't change what's already done. There's many job descriptions, many jobs already out there that you're trying to navigate. Can feel a bit counterintuitive on both sides to try to navigate this world.
Yeah, it really is a crazy world. And the nice thing about where I come from is with 40 years of recruiting experience, I know exactly what is going to be needed for the manager to be successful and for the company to be successful. And there's nothing wrong with going back through those different job descriptions and just simply adding those 3 month, 6 month, 9 month, and 12-month goals.
And speaking of where you've been in this field, as you mentioned, for many, many years. I want to know where you're going. What's next for you?
Oh, geez, Christine, so much. It's so exciting. My book, Expect Success, The Science of the Over 50 Career Search, is now done with the editing piece. Now we're doing the proofreading for the next week. Then it'll go to pagination and it'll probably be published next month. So I'm really excited about that. And I've been certified as I'm not saying this very well, but as a virtual presenter. And so for me, that's going to give me more opportunities to do a lot more speaking. And then finally, and this is very exciting for me, I got a phone call from Cache Valley Electric, one of my clients from several years ago, and I'm going to start recruiting for them this week. So I'm really excited about that. I love that company. I love the management. They're a great team. And so that's going to be something that I'm going to be working on also over the next couple of months. Plus, I've got my blog. So it's an exciting time for me.
Your website looks fabulous. Exciting to hear about the book. It's finally going to be here. Looking forward to that. I also want to mention you have some other books as well that are available now for people to get.
Yes. The one that's came before it, my second book, is Employee 5.0, Secrets of a Successful Job Search in the New World Order. And that's available on Amazon, both in Kindle and softcover. And, that's a really, really good book for anybody. My Expect Success book is really targeting the people who are 50 and above.
Well, thank you so much, Bill Humbert, for being here today. Talent attraction consultant, also recruiter guy. We always appreciate Bill being here. It's been a really tough year, 2020, 2021, economically for people looking for jobs. More people are finding themselves in need of finding a job, and Bill's always a light in the darkness. He always comes through with positivity and great tips on what to do, regardless of where you're at in this process. We'll be back with more right after this.